I woke up late again today. The alarm went off at 6. I had a plan to write for 90 minutes before work, and I hit snooze until 8. I've done this for 3 years. The thing I'm about to show you is the only reason I'm even speaking to a microphone right now. Stop scrolling. What I'm about to lay out decides whether you spend the next year in the same comfortable stall or you finally get moving. Listen. You know the knot in your stomach when you look at a task you've pushed off. You feel the heat in your neck when someone asks about your progress. You shrink into corners in your own life. The voice in your head is a committee of cowards asking polite questions that keep you passive, stuck, and harmless. If you click off this video right now, that committee keeps running the meeting for the rest of your life. I spent $4,700 on a productivity mastermind last year because the guy promised a frictionless framework. I bought the lie that the easy way was the smart way. Here's the audit. You are one of maybe 7 people who will ever see this. YouTube buries channels like Cope Ledger because the algorithm hates raw, educational, non-Cope content. So if you are here, you're already a legend. Drop a comment. Anything. Real. An emoji. So the algorithm knows actual people are watching. That's how this survives. The first trap is asking, what's the easiest way? Your brain is wired for energy conservation. Psychologically, this is called the scarcity principle, but applied to your own effort. You treat your willpower like a finite resource to be hoarded. Starting today, when that question pops up, you stop. You reframe it. Ask instead, what is the most reliable way to solve this permanently? This isn't about working harder. It's about targeting your effort where it won't evaporate. Think of the person who chooses the clever shortcut that breaks in a week. Don't be that person. The second question is the silent killer. Is this really worth my time? This triggers a cognitive bias called the planning fallacy. You overestimate the immediate cost and underestimate the future benefit. The mechanism is a pre-emptive strike against uncertainty. Here's the rule. You are not allowed to ask that question until you've put in 20 minutes. Commit to a minimum viable effort. You don't get to judge the movie by the trailer. There's a detail here most people miss, and I'll connect it at the end. It's the reason these questions feel so rational. The third question is the one you've definitely asked today. Can this wait until tomorrow? This leverages present bias. Your brain values immediate comfort far more than future reward. The mechanism is a neurological negotiation where you betray your future self. When you hear that, you implement the 2-minute version. If the full task can wait, you spend 2 minutes right now setting it up. Open the document, gather the tools, write the first line. This creates a zygonic effect. Your brain hates unfinished loops and will pull you back to close it. If you are still watching, you are already different from the 90% who folded at the first uncomfortable truth. That means you were serious. The fourth question is the most insidious. Why is this so hard for me? This is victimhood framing. It engages your brain's default mode network, spiraling into stories of personal deficit. Psychologically, this is called attribution error, blaming a fixed flaw instead of the task's normal difficulty. Your move is to rigidly reframe it. Ask instead, which specific part of this process is unclear? This forces the problem outside of your identity and onto a solvable component. Look up. Are you using one of these questions right now to avoid something? The master pattern is the abdication of executive function. These aren't questions seeking answers. They are psychological maneuvers seeking an excuse. They transfer agency from your planning prefrontal cortex to the comfort-seeking subsystems that want you small and safe. I have nothing to sell you. No course. No apply to work with me Discord. No newsletter. Cope Ledger doesn't sell anything. We keep the receipts. We do not run the scam. The detail I held back? The common thread is that each question is a request for permission. Permission from your biology, your distorted economics, your future self, or your inner critic to avoid the brief discomfort of decisive action. You're not lazy, you're outmaneuvered by your own sophisticated coping machinery. Thanks to my 5 subscribers. What a legend. Be the 6th. Hit subscribe. It keeps me motivated to make these instead of staring at a wall. Comment your screen time below. Just the number. I'm counting how many of you are at 6+ hours. I'll reply to the most honest one. The choice is yours. Stay in the comfortable stall, asking polite questions that keep you passive, or become the person who intercepts the committee. Silence the cowards. Reclaim the authority to choose your own difficulty. This is the kind of brutal honesty audit Cope Ledger runs every week. Don't subscribe if you came here to feel better about doing nothing. Subscribe if you're tired of being the guy who almost did it. Your progress is halted by a lack of capability, but by the sophistication of the excuses your own mind manufactures. The auction for your life keeps running. Stop bidding with your comfort.